Yeah.
911 talking to somebody. We thought at some point that he may be giving up, but then he started slowly driving, picking up pace. That's when we came on the air, and that's when we saw the grappler deployed, and within basically seconds, right?
Right.
We saw this car come crashing into this, looks like some wooden fencing. It might be some, I think, horse trails, Mike, and maybe on the other side of that wooden fence, and then of course the brick wall.
Yes, yes. We just saw officers in that backyard, I guess, trying to get another angle towards this car, maybe check to see that no one comes out.
Well, and you see the right, you see the Bearcat there because they believe that this person is potentially armed. Now, we don't exactly know how they know that, but we do know that the person had been calling 911. I actually spoke with CHP, who tells me they got the 911 call from him. The guy essentially said he was being chased and didn't want to be chased anymore. And then they realized it was a Riverside County Sheriff's Office chase, and then they transferred the caller over to RSO. So it's unclear how long the suspect has been on the phone with RSO and how long that they were, trying to communicate with the guy. We did notice when we first pulled up and before we came on the air that there was he was on the phone, and we were looking at that and we were trying to determine, was he actually talking on it or not. But we do know that there was a portion where he was talking to 911 from RSO. So what we're going to show you in just a second, I'm going to let the control room get situated here, but we're going to show you here how the grappler is supposed to be used. I actually just pulled some file out of Las Vegas where they were demonstrating it, and it's the same system here that the Riverside County Sheriff's has. So as soon as we're ready for that, we can show it to you here. But meanwhile, we are waiting for this Bearcat to figure out how they're going to handle this. There's a very good chance that the person inside is just not conscious after a collision like that. I mean, you went through a fence and a brick wall. There is a decent chance here that this person is not conscious inside of that car. So they're going to make call outs for as long as they can, and eventually I would assume they'll bring SWAT in to try to get this guy out, especially if they have belief that he's armed. And Carlos, do we have that video that we can show people of the grappler and what it is, the idea that it's supposed to be used? Here, there you go. Okay, so right side of your screen. Again, this is video out of Las Vegas, but there you see how it is supposed to be used. So it catches the tire and it slowly brings the car to an end here. And they stay connected to it. And that's got that rope that you see there has some, like I said, some straps that come loose to bring the car slowly to an end. But you saw what we're looking at here. We didn't quite get that ability here of them to be able to get that good grab around the tire to bring it to an end. So that on the right side of your screen is what it is supposed to look like. What we saw here, though, was unfortunately a miss. It looks like he grabbed the bumper, and then that sent the suspect veering into the wall. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and you've got these deputies that are making split-second decisions in high-risk situations at very high speeds. The smallest little miscalculation could have, made the difference here. It looked like maybe the grappler tried to come up when it was under the rim, under the bumper rather, instead of under the tire. And it may have the suspect may have gunned it just a little bit at the right time to be able to just pull away from the grappler just a bit. But you see the significant damage that has been done to that car. The whole front end, the engine is just basically gone.
Because there is a chance that he's armed, officers certainly have to really be cautious about approaching the car to check on the suspect. And Mike, we see them in really certainly the positions they are ready for anything that the suspect may do.
Yeah.
Some of those officers, Mike, they're still pointing their guns. The canine
right.
officer there is ready to go if needed. But again, what is happening now? You're saying they're calling out commands.
Yeah, they're going to give the driver commands. The problem is look, you got that Cadillac that's heavily tinted. So they're not able to see inside of it. They're going to form a tactical plan. It looks like you already have some RSO SWAT members on scene right there with the Bearcat and behind the Bearcat. They may be waiting for some additional SWAT members before they kind of make an approach here. But they are probably going to, I would assume, maybe first break one of the windows to try to get a look inside. They may shoot some gas in there to try to get the guy out, again, if he is able to and if he is conscious. The problem is, though, they can't see into those windows very well. So I would expect the first thing you'll see is them to bust out one of the windows somehow, whether they're going to shoot it with some rubber bullets or what have you, however they want to do that. But my guess would be they'll try to break a window out first, get an idea of what they can see inside, and then make a tactical plan from there to approach the driver at some point. If he's incapacitated and unable to get out, they're going to have to go in there and pull him out some way, one way or another, likely with shields or with an additional Bearcat that'll come up right against the side of the car there and try to sort all that out. But right now, they're going to let the suspect see if he can come out on his own. It doesn't look like that's going to happen, and then they'll just make a plan on how they're going to go next. Yeah, traffic violations. I mean, that's just traffic violations, and that's what we talked about yesterday. Is they originally tried to stop that guy for swerving, and it ended up being a 4-county tour last night. I mean, luckily that didn't end like this. But yeah, it's crazy when you hear these things because again, we were trying to get what's the want here, and all we were getting was traffic violations. So it's unclear what that was or why they were insistent on chasing this person with traffic violations. But you're looking here, they're moving cars out of the way. My guess is there's another Bearcat, and I don't know, John, if you can pull out a little bit, if you see any other Bearcats or armored vehicles that are approaching the scene here, but I would assume they're probably going to start moving some of those patrol cars out of the way. I don't see them yet, but get some of those patrol cars out of the way so they can get additional armored vehicles in to be able to stop that. The good news, though, here, I mean, yes, we're in a neighborhood, but we got away from the school, right? Because that school was I was looking at their bell schedule, which was getting out at 3:25, and that's only 4 minutes ago. So hopefully, at least we're away from the school now.
We are away from the school. And that's what was so interesting, Mike. He was sitting in the car for so long. We knew he was talking to 911. We thought this eventually would be coming to an end. And then, again, he slowly started to peel away from that intersection at Belgrade and Etowanda, right? Yeah. And here we are just a few minutes after that. The grappler was deployed, and he crashed into not only a fence, a wood fence, it looks like maybe it divides a little horse trail in that area there, and into that cement cinder block wall, and you just see the damage that it caused to the car.
Yeah, and we're showing you on the right side of your screen what Vaughn was just talking about. He was sitting at that intersection there at Belgrade and Etowanda, right outside of that Taruba Valley High School campus there. And he sat there for a good little while there, and then slowly but surely started to move. You can see he's holding his phone there, and we know that he had been on the phone quite a bit with 911, and then slowly and surely he started to take off. But officers were right there on the scene and ready to follow him with that new device that unfortunately did not stop the car, but we see the results of that.
Yeah, indeed. And you can see in his hand, that looks like his cell phone, and for a while we really couldn't tell what it was, but that's the cell phone that apparently he was on, and you can see he was very calm sitting in the driver's
Yeah.
seat, one hand holding the phone, the other one kind of on his lap, and not a lot of movement. All that police right behind him there, and as Mike was saying, right outside where the high school is, and here's the grappler once again. Misses the first
Yeah.
one here, Mike, and then the second time around, it deploys, but
Not the way it's supposed to. It never made it underneath of that wheel, and this is the first time, again, we'll say it again, but this is the first time we have seen on our air, at least, the use of a grappler during a pursuit. It is a fairly new tool for the Riverside County Sheriff's Office. It is only equipped on their canine vehicles. We saw it on that canine vehicle before the chase, continued here, and as soon as that guy took off, that canine unit jumped up there really quickly, and you saw the speeds. The speeds were fairly quick on this. Riverside Sheriff's Office have told us that they have done this over 100 miles an hour at one point during a chase. So there's not necessarily a speed restriction that we're aware of, though certainly the faster the speeds, the more inherent risk there is in this. And then you see how quickly they got that Bearcat up behind the guy to prevent him from backing out, though that engine is not going to go anywhere. And again, we don't know right now if the guy's incapacitated or what his deal is and what his status is inside of that car, because we've yet to see any movement. We're going to come around the front. John's looking through the windshield, though it's severely cracked. I mean, look at the engine, guys. There's just nothing left of that car.
incredible. I mean, this is a Cadillac, right, Mike?
Yes, it's a Cadillac CT5.
A lot of damage, which just really goes to show you the speed that he was going when he slammed into that wooden fence and then that wall. And it looks almost like that building is some type of maybe garage.
Yeah, like an outbuilding.
Windows. Looks like maybe there is a house next to it, but
Oh, actually, maybe a back house. Yeah.
Yeah, it does look like it may be a back house.
just with no windows on the other side. But this is a busy roadway that is now closed, as Mike was mentioning.
Yeah.
Just minutes after school got out, and the school's just down the road there. So a lot of people experiencing detours after getting to their kids.
Yeah, and we do know that the fire department is staging They're certainly not going to come into this scene until RSO gives them the clearance to do so. John briefly looked in the window there. I didn't see anything. We don't want to get too tight on that in case this person is, you know, deceased. Yeah, we just don't want to show that on TV, obviously. But no movement at all inside of this car. John, when you pulled out really quickly, I did notice that RSO also has a presence in the neighborhood on the other side of the street. So you got some deputies right there at the corner of the building, and then you got their patrol cars that are, see right there, you got about 5 patrol cars that are there on the street as well. So they came into the neighborhood quickly so that they could get on the other side of this, and they are positioned up right on the corners of that outbuilding. Yeah, you got them right there, just in case this guy gets out and moves. But again, I don't think this is going to end well for the person inside of this car. I think this is going to be a situation where eventually they'll recover him out. But you know, he's been in there a while now. We've not seen any movement, and we'll have to see what RSO is going to plan to do here. It looks like they're going to reposition the Bearcat, so we'll see how they're going to do that, if they've brought in a second one or what their plan is. But you know, they may be making a move here to try to end this. They're going to bust through the rest of that fence that's there.
And you know what's interesting, Amy, if you look at it too, just to the left of the Bearcat there, that's where he first went through the fence.
Yeah.
And then he kind of diagonally went into that wall. Look how much of that wall he busted out before the car stopped where it is right now. So again, the force, the velocity of that crash, even though you think it wasn't going too fast, that the car was, it looks like it was going pretty fast. The entire front portion of it, the hood is crumpled up. You can see the engine, and again, so far we haven't seen any
No
movement.
movement, but we do notice that the front windshield there really did get some damage, and of course those windows are just so dark.
I didn't see him wearing a seatbelt. If you saw, you go back to that earlier video too, where he's sitting there.
He was, you say?
I don't think he was wearing a seatbelt, so that could.
Yeah, that's not a good idea too. Guys, I wanted to give you some quick information too on the grappler. Courtney, our producer, went back and looked at the information. I think there was Joy Benedict that did the story for us the first time. In March, when we had spoken to these guys, they had successfully used the grapple 7 times. Grappler, not all on pursuits. They had told us that sometimes they've used it before it even got to that point, just to bring it to an end. 4 of the people that they took into custody using the grappler were murder suspects. They've done them at 35 miles an hour, but they've also, as say, they've been successful at speeds up to 100. So the speed really varies there, but there you go again. You can see the crash there on the right side of your screen as RSO has kind of repositioned the Bearcat. I'm kind of waiting to see if they're going to try to pop out one of the windows here to get an idea of if that guy's moving in there, but we've not seen, you know, anything. And I don't know, their helicopter's still overhead. I don't know if they're getting a better visual inside that front windshield than we are, although it's pretty cracked and damaged, so it'd be hard to tell.
They positioned the Bearcat there not because, I mean, the car's not going anywhere clearly.
Right.
It's more for them to get a better vantage point. It looks like that one officer behind that shield is either looking at something or maybe positioning that beanbag that you're talking about to blow out a window. What do you think?
That's still a lethal gun. That's not less lethal. So he's still got their primary, lethal munitions there. And then you've got these other guys that are trying to get, yeah, and you're right, Juan, it's not to prevent the car from going anywhere. It's not going to go anywhere, but it's just so that they have tactical cover while they're trying to do this. So, yeah, I mean, at some point, like I said, I believe that they'll probably pop one of the windows open just so they can get inside there. They may shoot some gas. They've got K9 there. Though, and you see them talking to K9 right there, though that would require them to, you know, either run up and open the door or get the window broken enough that K9 can jump in. So we'll see. They don't always love to use K9s, especially if they think the guy's armed, but we'll see how they handle it.
And all the while, if he is injured, he's not getting medical attention.
Yeah, right.
He's sitting in the car right now.
And you got to know that he is injured in some capacity. It's just how severe are the injuries, and is this person still helpable, or where are we at with all that? Oh, there's some crime tape.
Crime tape's going up.
Yeah.
Yes, and we do know that that street is blocked off to through traffic in the middle of the afternoon, 3:37, kids have just gotten out of school at Blue Valley High School. Yeah, they're not able to get around there, but we were just watching and waiting patiently as they are trying to decide exactly how they are going to handle the suspect that is in that car, led officers on a long pursuit. Sad was on the phone with 911 several times, talking to dispatchers, and again, this all started over traffic violations, is what Mike was telling us.
Yeah.
But
Well, we are going to continue following this breaking news story. CBS LA at 4 is right around the corner, about 20 minutes or so. We have crews on the scene as well as SkyCal. Mike Rogers on the desk gathering information. We'll bring you the very latest at the top of the hour.
Okay,
Plops
sorry.
out at the
Yeah,
top.
I thought we were going to 3:40, sorry.
Well, that escalated quickly. Okay, copy. Thank you.